Yep. Inside, I want to kill myself. We are on an 0-7 run over the last 2 days. After tonight was just complete bullshit. So that's how I'm going to start off this show. Horrible Sunday, 1-5. I don't even know what to tell you about that. I just don't want to do this anymore. I have never seen anything like this, man. With the slump continuing, 2 straight losses, not a good day at all. 0-4. I just have not had a good season, man. What kind of slump that I'm on? The slump continues. I've reached a new peak, actually. I'm going to burn my Bruins hat, man. I don't know what is going on with the Bruins. March 8th, is that what it is? I don't even know. It's March 9th, I think. Who even knows, man? I don't know what day it is anymore. I don't even know what day it is anymore, man. Back with you after the worst day that I could possibly have. Back with you, as I always am. Until I die, at least. 0-2 yesterday, and yesterday did not go well for me. 0-5. The worst month that I've ever had in my 18 years doing this. I don't know what to even tell you about this anymore. Broke the slump yesterday as the slump discontinues. The slump continues. Somebody fucking kill me, please. I don't even know what I should do at this point other than potentially end it all. What's up, everybody? It's Toad back with you. This is Bettor Off Dead for Tuesday, September 30th. You guys might not be happy with me, but I'm going to have a second day in a row where I'm not going to give out any plays. I don't love the baseball slate today. Don't love the singular WNBA game. We'll talk about all of them. But, I don't want to force anything, really. So, not going to do it, but we will talk about everything here. So I think we can just get right into it, man. I mean, I don't know if we have anything to really talk about as far as what else happened as far as the weekend slate is concerned. Although I did forget to mention that in that Colts game, not only was that holding call that took away that game, probably what should have been the game-winning touchdown, the call that took that away, that was on the wide receiver who also lost the ball on what was going to be a sure touchdown in the middle of the game that was going to give Indy, I believe, the lead back again in the middle of the game. He had a touchdown. It was another great play that got erased because he fumbled it into the end zone at like the 1-inch line, 1 inch away from it being a touchdown. And then, of course, what happens if you fumble it through the end zone? Where, by the way, if you fumble it to the left, you're going to get the ball at the 1-yard line. But if you fumble it forwards, then you lose possession of the ball completely. The touchback rule is the worst rule in the NFL. There's no question about it. You can't be 1 inch away from getting a touchdown, and just because of that, you don't even get possession anymore. Like, if you want to make it a penalty, fine. Set them back 10 yards, whatever. Make it like a touchback for that. Like, make it like a reverse touchback, right? Like, if that happens, I think the team should maintain possession, but set them back to the 20 or something like that. Like, that would be way more fair. Giving the other team the ball based on like 1 inch and kind of where the ball goes is just so ridiculous. I hate it. So that happened in that Colts game too. And then last night, I don't know if there's really a whole, I don't know if we have many takeaways from last night, although my leans were 1-1 in those games. The Dolphins won, although they lost Tyreek Hill, I assume, for the season. His career might be over, man. This Dolphin offense, it's still not good. It's not going to be good. The Jets are also, the Jets, they're bad. They're trying to adapt to a new coaching system. I think they're probably still better than the Dolphins, but I didn't like the spot, really, for the Jets there. And then Cincinnati, they are just, without Joe Burrow, they look like a complete doormat. It's just absolutely crazy how bad their offense is right now without Joe Burrow. That is a huge drop-off to Browning. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, their defense isn't good either, although the game was pretty low scoring last night, but Denver is not really a high-powered offense, but Denver is a good defense, though. So that is a defense that's going to make Cincinnati's offense look probably worse than it really is. But man, that Jake Browning offense, man, they've looked bad 2 weeks in a row against 2 good defenses, though, Minnesota and Denver. All right. WNBA today, we have Game 5 of Indiana at Las Vegas. Vegas is an 8-point favorite. They have 56% of tickets, 62% of the cash on them. I think if you're going to play this game, you got to lay the points with Vegas. They are 3-1 at home in the playoffs. I know they didn't cover this number in one of those wins. They did in the other two. Of course, they lost the last game at Indiana. Indiana staying alive, but this Indiana team, man, I mean, they're less experienced than Vegas. They have a thinner roster, as we know. They're playing really well despite being without Clark and Cunningham. It's crazy that they're doing this, but Vegas is the better team, man. I think it's just going to come to an end here for Indiana. I'm not saying they're going to get annihilated like they did in Game 2, which, by the way, was a play I gave out on the show. I don't want to quite give it out here, although I think in Game 2, the line was actually a little bit higher, I believe. I'm looking at the wrong game here. I think Vegas was like 8.5, 9. Actually, they were 9.5 when the game went off in Game 2. I think I gave it out at 8.5. So you are actually getting maybe a little bit of line value on this if you do like Vegas. The line is a little bit lower than it was in the other home games. It is a zigzag spot. I mean, they did lose at Indiana as a favorite in the previous games, so that does mean that you're probably going to get refocus from the better team. They're the team that's going to have the adjustments to make. Indiana is better at home than they are on the road. Vegas, not as good on the road. So you're getting Vegas at home this time, where they were 17-5 throughout the regular season. So the home advantage is something. Indiana was only 11-11 on the road. So it does matter for sure. This game, Indiana did have the lead the whole game. The stats weren't really that misleading. Like, if this was a big-time outlier again statistically, I'd be looking at this and saying, yeah, like, we should lay the points with Vegas here. I still think that is the move, but it's not strong enough to give out a play on it. But, I mean, this is a decisive Game 5, man. It's at home. Typically, the better team is going to be the winning team, and if they win, I think they're likely to cover as well. It kind of goes the same way in the NBA, too. So that's, yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I think Vegas is the right side. And then we got Major League Baseball playoffs, where you have to take into account a few different things in the playoffs here, man, where I do like, I talk about this in many sports, where the playoffs can kind of be like a reset. Like, you had yesterday off. The regular season's over now, so I kind of like leaning towards teams that didn't finish the regular season on like a hot note or anything. Like, they kind of ended the regular season kind of poorly, because now they're in the playoffs and they can be like, okay, this is a new ball game, basically. We can just reset and play. So I kind of like to lean towards those teams. And you're going to get a little bit of value, right? Because the public is always kind of recency oriented. Like, what have you done for me lately? And then the opposite side of things, teams that finish the season looking really, really hot, I tend to want to kind of lean against those teams. So we're going to see what happens here. I don't love enough of these to give out a play. We're going to basically have matchups of like ace versus ace in a lot of these games here in Game 1, man. I mean, these teams are not messing around here. Detroit at Cleveland is the first game up at 1 p.m. Eastern. I think it's going to be a pitching duel. I mean, the total is so low that even though I looked at this and I was like, this looks like it's going to be an under, so I was thinking about maybe giving out the under in this game. 68% of the tickets at 78% of the cash on the over, though, and the total dropped from 6.5 to 6. I mean, this is playoff baseball now, man. You're getting to weather that's a little bit cooler, especially somewhere like Cleveland. It might not be that warm in this game. I don't know what the temperature is going to be. It's not really cool yet here, though, but we're getting into fall. I mean, I'm in Boston, but the playoffs just tend to be lower scoring anyway, because you get more focused pitching, focused fielding. Like, teams just have more focus. It's kind of it's a game of inches more so. So playoffs do tend to be a little bit lower scoring. But this game especially, it does look like a pitching duel. But you know me, I can't go under a 6. I mean, that is a ridiculous number. It looks like it's juiced to the under too at this point. So it's almost headed towards 5.5 on the full game. I mean, Cleveland has a really good bullpen. They have a bad offense. Detroit has the better offense. Cleveland has the better bullpen. Detroit's bullpen isn't too bad. And then, of course, we do have Skubal on the mound for Detroit. So there are a lot of things that kind of indicate under in this game, but that's why the odds makers have put out this total that's so low that you can't even really play the under. Skubal had an excellent season, obviously. 2.21 ERA, 0.89 whip. He's only a little bit worse on the road, 2.3 ERA on the road. Good final month of the season, 25-6 strikeout walk ratio, 2.42 ERA. He faced Cleveland twice to finish the season, so this is also pretty odd that he's facing Cleveland 3 starts in a row now, but he had no problem with them in either of the other ones, except he did kind of walk too many guys, but he still had a 17-5 strikeout walk ratio over those 2 starts in 12 innings, allowed only 2 earned runs combined, so he does handle Cleveland. It's just that Detroit lost both those games because they couldn't score at all. His numbers are good against Cleveland, 158 at bats. I mean, they have experience against them, and they still can't hit him. 53 strikeouts, 9 walks, ridiculous strikeout walk ratio there. 215 average allowed, 580 OPS allowed. Yeah, I mean, obviously he handles Cleveland, but Cleveland is going to go with Gavin Williams instead of Tanner Bybee here. I think they realize that Williams is their best shot to basically duel Skubal in this game. I would agree that they're right about that. I think their management here, their manager, I forget who their manager even is, but it makes sense to actually use Williams in this one. He's actually had the better season than Bybee as well. The only thing is maybe he's a little bit less experienced, but I do think he was in their playoff rotation last year too. So you're dealing with a couple of starting pitchers here. Both have some playoff experience at the very least. Williams, 3.06 ERA, 1.27 whip on the season. The whip was a little bit too high. He was a little bit better at home with a 3 ERA. Finished the season strong, 1.88 ERA over this month. Cleveland actually won 5 starts in a row of his. Somewhat too many walks. 30 strikeouts is really good this month, but 10 walks. But other than that, I mean, really good numbers overall. He's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in his last 5 starts. His last 2 were both against Detroit, and he picked up wins in both of them. And I think those might have both been against Skubal as well. So this is going to be the 3rd game in a row that's Williams versus... Oh, no, it was Williams versus Flaherty in one of those. My mistake. So both starting pitchers are... facing the same offense for the 3rd straight game, though. But I don't think they're facing each other the 3rd straight game. They did face each other in the last game, though, so it's a rematch of the last game. So it is an interesting pitching matchup here for sure. Gavin Williams actually does well against Detroit, too, on 125 career at-bats, 50-13 strikeout walk ratio. He holds Detroit to a 168 average over that huge sample, 502 OPS. So Williams does pitch well against Detroit as well. So... how do we want to handle this one? Whoops, Jeffrey, what's up, man? I clicked on the stupid default StreamYard comment there. You have a series winner parlay, Detroit, San Diego, Boston, and the Reds at 29-1. I mean, I hope that wins, man. I mean, I think the Reds are obviously the least likely of those to win. I just don't see the Reds winning, but they do have Terry Francona, man. I mean, very, very good manager there, but... I mean, going up against the Dodgers have a really, really good starting pitching rotation. Cincinnati's is all right, though. I don't know, though, man. Dodgers hit really well at home. Dodgers have a lot more experience. I worry about that part of it. I think the other ones are more likely to happen, of course. I agree with you on Detroit. I somewhat agree with you on San Diego. I don't see the Red Sox being able to win here. I mean, it's kind of a young, inexperienced Red Sox team. I just don't love it. But I hope that wins, man. It's gonna pay out nicely. Anyway, Detroit at Cleveland, though. I would lean to Detroit in this game overall, though. I just think Skubal obviously gives them the best chance to win. I mean, he's probably going to win the Cy Young. He is probably the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, this is what they have him for, a game like this. I think it'll be close. I think it's going to be low scoring. Detroit is up from -148 to -158, though, and it's like... I know you're paying like a huge price just for Skubal on the mound. It's too much of a price to lay on Detroit, man. That's what I would say. Even though I think they will win this game, I was expecting a cheaper price on Detroit. The money is coming in on Detroit, though. 59% of tickets, 80% of the cash coming in on Detroit. So the money is coming in on Detroit, but yeah, I mean, I just don't see it at this price. I think it's too much of a price. A road favorite like that against Williams, who's probably going to be able to pitch okay here. Low-scoring game. I mean, I think Detroit's offense is going to wind up being the difference here because Cleveland really can't hit. That, and I think the hype is just all on Cleveland right now. Everybody's talking about Cleveland, how they made this huge run to make the playoffs. Detroit had this epic collapse, and the public is all recency bias for the most part, so they kind of like Cleveland in this game, in this series, really, more than they like Detroit. So that has me kind of leaning to Detroit as well. Detroit, they have their chance right now, right? Like, what better way to get revenge, right, against collapsing and losing the division like Detroit did than to get to play the team that overtook you in the first round of the playoffs and just end their season? So I think Detroit does actually have a little bit more motivation in this series, and they are the better team. I mean, they're not as good as they looked, in the middle of the season. They looked like one of the best teams in baseball. I don't think they're that good, but I still think they're better than Cleveland. So, again, that is also being factored into the line there. San Diego at Chicago here. This game, this is at Wrigley Field. It's going to be in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, ABC. As far as which of these teams ended the season hotter, I think San Diego kind of did, but Chicago did end with a sweep of St. Louis. So they kind of ended on a hot note after they were basically just not paying attention anymore. They faced some teams that were really battling. Like they had to face Cincinnati and the Mets, who were both battling for the last wild card. So the Cubs just didn't have as much motivation as those teams did. But they did finish with a sweep of St. Louis, and now they're kind of finishing on a hot note again, which kind of makes me like the Cubs a little bit less here. San Diego finished hot as well, though, with a sweep over Arizona, who actually was still fighting to make the playoffs and ended Arizona's season. They did also play well against Milwaukee coming into the playoffs here. San Diego, I mean, I think they have a little bit of experience because they've been to the playoffs recently. I'm not sure if the Cubs did make the playoffs last year. Did they? I don't remember if they did or if they didn't. We're looking at a couple of pretty experienced pitchers here, though. Pivetta has a lot of playoff experience, and I think maybe that might be the difference in this game. San Diego does have the better bullpen as well. The hitting is better on the side of Chicago than on the Cubs. But I tend to like pitching over hitting, and that's what you might get. Like the bullpen for San Diego might wind up being the difference here if you're looking at what's maybe going to be a close game later into the game. Nick Pivetta, good season for him for San Diego, 2.87 ERA, 0.99 whip. He's definitely used to pitching in the playoffs, man. He isn't as good on the road, though, so that is a concern, a 3.55 road ERA. He finished the season strong, 23-8 strikeout walk ratio, 3.09 ERA. He did walk 5 guys in his last outing, though, against Milwaukee, so that is maybe a little bit concerning that he lost control in that start, but his control's been good otherwise, so I think that's more of just kind of an outlier. Like, I don't really necessarily expect that to be the case again here. But the other thing you do have to worry about Pivetta is he's not good against the Cubs. In 106 at-bats, 32-10 strikeout walk ratio, 302 average allowed, 853 OPS. So Nick Pivetta, he's definitely a concern on the road and against the Cubs. So I do worry about Pivetta in this one, man. Jeffrey, thanks for hanging out, man. Leans for tomorrow's games. Interesting. Tomorrow's basically just all Major League Baseball, I think, right? I got to see what the games are tomorrow because there are going to be 4 more. Wait, are there 4 more baseball games tomorrow, or is this it? Actually, it's probably the games 2 of the series tomorrow, right? Because we're in the wild card round right now, right? So the other teams that aren't playing get byes. So I'll have to look at what the matchups are for tomorrow. But yeah, there are some concerns with Pivetta, even though obviously San Diego has to use him in this series. I mean, he is one of their best pitchers, so they have pretty much no choice but to use him. He's going up against Matthew Boyd, who had a good season for the Cubs, 3.21 ERA, 1.09 whip. He's really good at home, 2.51 ERA. So Boyd does have the home road splits. Cubs won his last 3 outings, but he wasn't exactly great down the stretch here, man. I talked about this. I thought he looked like he was wearing down. He gave up 4 or more earned runs in 5 of his last 7 outings. He had a 5.31 ERA in the last month of the season, 12-5 strikeout walk ratio. His strikeout rate was down. He was not pitching as effectively, man. And he faced some kind of weak offenses over that stretch too. A couple of better ones too, but some of those starts where he gave up some of those runs where one was at Coors Field, but still the Rockies offense not good. At San Francisco, that's not a good sign. He gets Pittsburgh, not a good sign, although those are all on the road. But then he also did it at home against Tampa Bay, gave up 4 earned runs or more in all of those outings. Not necessarily a good sign. I talked about this, man. I think Boyd, even though he does have some playoff experience, he threw 179 and 2/3 innings this year, and he has not thrown that many innings since 2019, and he's much older now, so I definitely worry about him wearing down more than I worry about Pivetta, because Pivetta is more used to this grind. Boyd up against San Diego here. He does have the better matchup numbers, but it's not by a whole lot. 68 at-bats against them, 13-4 strikeout walk ratios, all right, 279 batting average allowed, 741 OPS, so he's okay against San Diego, but not great. Yes, you got to worry about the other numbers with Pivetta. The money is coming in on the Cubs, up from -115 to -122. 52% of tickets, 54% of the cash coming in on the Cubs. Total dropped from 7 to 7, juice to the under. So, I mean, it might wind up hitting 6.5. We have 75% of tickets on the over, 72% of the cash on the over. So the over's public, less of the money on the over. I would kind of lean to an over in this game, though, man. I think there are some concerns with both starting pitchers coming into this one, so I would consider, probably that would be the way that I would lean in this game, actually, would be towards the over. I mean, you're not getting a whole lot of room for error there if you try to play an under there, especially if this drops to 6.5, I think it might be worth a shot on the over there. 7 is a key number because it breaks a 3-3 tie. I mean, I worry about the bullpens, obviously. You have two pretty solid bullpens here, especially San Diego, so you might see runs scored less in the later parts of this game. But yeah, I mean, I think it is kind of a sneaky over with these two pitchers. Look like they had really good seasons, but as I pointed out, there are some issues potentially with both of those pitchers in this particular game. So yeah, I could definitely potentially see an over. I don't quite want to give that out as a play, though. Into the evening slate, we have Red Sox, Yankees. I mean, the rivalry has returned. The Red Sox have done well against the Yankees over the last couple of years, man. And even though the Yankees have been the better overall team, the Red Sox seem to always play them well. Red Sox were 9-4 against the Yankees this year. They did well against them. Yankees finished the season really hot, so you do have to worry about maybe there being some momentum disruption here because they won their last 8 games in a row, but all of those wins were against Baltimore and the White Sox, so they did that against bad teams. The Yankees, this year, they really beat up on bad teams, and they actually didn't do as well against winning teams this year, so that is a bit of a concern with the Yankees here, that they didn't play as well against better teams. I think the Yankees' pitching is not as good as some of these other teams in the playoffs here. The Red Sox pitching, I'm not really too trustworthy of them either, though, like the starting rotation. Red Sox do have the better bullpen here. The Yankees' bullpen has been a concern for pretty much all year. The Yankees' offense is obviously really good. The Red Sox offense is decent as well, but the Yankees' offense is one of the top in all of baseball, so that is pretty much what got them here. That plus a little bit of their starting pitching. But obviously, we're looking at the matchup of the aces here. It's Garrett Crochet against Max Fried, which I believe is a lefty-on-lefty matchup as well. This is a good starting pitching matchup, man. As far as the market read is indicating on the Red Sox a little bit, with the Yankees not a huge favorite at -130. I mean, everybody knows these are both good pitchers, but the Yankees, you're always going to pretty much have to pay a bit of a price on the Yankees, especially with Fried on the mound. 67% of tickets on them, only 55% of the cash, so the money seems to be thinking the Red Sox can hang in this game. I kind of agree with it. I mean, I don't want to be a homer here. I don't want to get my hopes up that the Red Sox might be able to win this series. Although if they're able to take game one, I mean, maybe there's a decent shot at it, man. If they're able to cancel out Fried here in this one, which Crochet definitely has the ability to match or even outpitch Fried. I mean, that is certainly a possibility that he can do that. And if it's close later into the game, the Red Sox do have a bullpen edge, but the Yankees have the hitting edge. But I could see the argument for the Red Sox here. And the Red Sox didn't finish the season as hot. The Yankees, with the longest win streak, I think, for any team at the end of the season, not really the way you want to go into the playoffs, to be honest. I think they probably should have taken a loss in there, but they were trying to win the division, which they did not do. But, yeah, I mean, it could be a little bit of a disruption having to come into the playoffs. You get a day off. Playoffs kind of like a reset, and you don't really want to go into the playoffs on a huge win streak like that. This game on ESPN, by the way, the ESPN has a triple header, getting every game except San Diego and Chicago, but ABC is on the ESPN networks as well. Hey, finally, ESPN is giving you some baseball besides Sunday night, man. It's baseball playoffs. They're like, all right, let's televise baseball now. As far as what these pitchers have done, Garrett Crochet, I mean, great season for him. He's in the Cy Young picture, at least. 2.59 ERA, 1.03 whip. He was actually better on the road, 2.25 road ERA. Finished the season pretty strong. 3.55 ERA was a little bit higher than you're used to from him because he did give up 7 runs in one game against Cleveland, inexplicably. But the Red Sox did win his last 7 outings. Other than that 7-run outburst, he allowed 3 or fewer earned runs in his last 8 outings. He had a 41-4 strikeout walk ratio to finish the season in the final month, including facing the A's on the road, the Yankees, Tampa on the road, and Toronto on the road. So not an easy slate of offenses to face, really, or easy parks to pitch in, and he did well anyway down the stretch. So I think the concerns that he might be wearing down, because this is by far the most innings that he's ever thrown in his life, I think those concerns are just kind of not there. I mean, he seems like he's fine still. And he also did have a ridiculous 5.5 strikeout walk ratio over the course of the entire season. I mean, pretty elite stuff from Crochet, man. I know he's facing one of the elite lineups here in the Yankees. I like good pitching over good hitting. He has done well against the Yankees in the past, including his most recent start against them was decent as well. And the Red Sox did win that game. 108 at-bats against them. 45-4 strikeout walk ratio is pretty insane. 222 batting average allowed, 667 OPS. So Crochet has done well against the Yankees. He gave up 3 runs last time out against the Yankees at Fenway, but they didn't really do much off of him. They had fewer hits than innings pitched, 12-1 strikeout walk ratio. So I do think Crochet should be pretty good coming into this one. He is going up against Fried, though, like I said. Fried, good season for him. Bit of a rough stretch in the middle of the season, but he bounced back towards the end of the season. So he's in good form as well right now. He had a 2.86 ERA, 1.1 whip on the season. Now, the one concern about Crochet, by the way, is he does not have playoff experience. He was pitching for the White Sox, so he's not used to a big, this huge high-pressure situation, but I don't know if that's really going to affect him. I mean, he's so good that I'm not really too worried about that affecting him. Fried has playoff experience, obviously, because he was on the Braves, so he does have some playoff experience. He had a good season, 2.37 home ERA as well, so he was good at home. Finished with a good final month. The Yankees actually won his last 6 outings, including his start against the Red Sox, which wasn't that great, but the Yankees won it. He did give up 9 hits and 5 1/3 innings in that one. Held the Red Sox to 2 earned runs, but kind of a concern that he put 11 guys on base, 2 walks in that outing as well with 6 strikeouts. But he kind of got away with putting a lot of guys on base in that one. Red Sox kind of failed with runners in scoring position, I think, in that game. But overall, Fried did have a 1.89 ERA and 35-9 strikeout walk ratio over the final month, although the good offenses that he faced were really just Toronto, Boston, I guess Houston, you could argue, was in that mix too. And again, the Boston outing, he could have allowed more runs. His matchup stats are a little bit worse than Crochet's are here. The Red Sox still haven't hit Fried that well, though. 93 at-bats, 30-12 strikeout walk ratio. I mean, he doesn't dominate the Red Sox. 237 batting average allowed is low. 700 OPS, though. I mean, they have some power off him. It's mostly Story, though, with 2 home runs off him. Bregman has hit him well, too, though. 5 for 13 with a homer and 3 walks, so we will see. So I do think Crochet, you could argue he does have a somewhat of a matchup edge here against Fried. So, yeah, I mean, I could see the arguments for the Red Sox there. I hope it happens, but I'm not holding my breath. And then we finish with another pretty good pitching matchup in Cincinnati and the Dodgers here. By the way, for the total on that Red Sox game, Red Sox-Yankees game, 62% of tickets and cash on the over. The total flipped from 7 juice to the over to 7 juice to the under. I think if you wanted to go under in that game, it would have to be in the first 5 innings. I mean, I don't trust the Yankees bullpen, although the Red Sox bullpen, I guess, is all right. But you're not going to get a good number on the first 5 innings. Probably you're going to have to go under 3.5 at best. That's the way it goes in the playoffs, man. These games, you look at it, and almost every one of them looks like you kind of want to go under, except I recommended against it in San Diego and Chicago. All of the other ones, I think, do look like under games, but a little bit of a concern with such low totals here. Cincinnati and the Dodgers to finish this off. Dodgers have a really good offense, one of the best offenses in baseball, the best home offense in baseball. They play well. They hit really well at home. They didn't do enough to get one of the buys, but the Dodgers, I actually think that's going to undervalue them a little bit. You saw my bracket special. I have the Dodgers making the World Series again here, which I think is a definite possibility. Their starting rotation is good right now. They got a couple of their best pitchers back, one of them pitching tonight, and that also means those pitchers are fresh because they didn't pitch that much this season. So Dodgers very well might have the best starting pitching rotation here in the playoffs. Cincinnati's, I've talked about, is fairly good, though, and deep. Cincinnati doesn't have quite as good of an offense, although they can hit a little bit. Both these bullpens are actually somewhat concerning. I think Cincinnati's is a little bit worse than the Dodgers, though. But something to keep in mind, the bullpens are maybe a little bit of an issue here. Hunter Green is pitching for Cincinnati. It makes sense. They got to do it at some point. He's got to get in the mix here. Green, he's going to be a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of experience, though, pitching in a massive pressure situation like this. But he's also really, really good, so he might be able to do this, man. I mean, he's very much a fastball pitcher, though, so he just comes in and he tries to light you up. He's going to try to just blow fastballs by you. And when guys make contact with him, they are able to hit it fairly hard. But a lot of times they don't. More often than not, they don't. And he whiffs a lot of guys. He's good, man. 2.76 ERA, 0.94 whip on the season. Hopefully the pressure doesn't cause him to vomit on the mound. He is significantly worse on the road, though. 4.81 road ERA. So surprisingly, he was actually a lot better at home in Cincinnati, even though it's a hitter-friendly ballpark there. Finished the season quite well with a 2.64 ERA in the last month, this month. 38-10 strikeout walk ratio. Solid stuff, man. Did pitch against the Dodgers in this stadium back on August 25th, and he wasn't that good in that outing. He gave up 3 earned runs in 5 innings in that one, 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. So he's not totally dominant against the Dodgers, even though he is really good in most cases, but he might not do that well against the Dodgers. Against the Dodgers, lifetime 98 at-bats. He does have a really good 26-5 strikeout walk ratio against them, but they have a 276 average and 800 OPS. I mean, that's not awful, but the Dodgers are able to hit him and make him human. And he's not as good on the road, too. So I do worry about Green a bit in this game. He's going up against Blake Snell, he is an experienced pitcher. He's been around for a long time now, man. He's used to the deal. He's one of those Dodgers pitchers. Him and Glasnow, they were both hurt for a long time this season, which means that they're fresh because neither of them has thrown too many innings. But they also were able to finish the season with the Dodgers in the rotation, get back into their rhythm, man. So I think they're both going to be good coming into the playoffs here. Snell wound up with a 2.35 ERA, 1.26 whip. The tales of his career demise or whatever, I think were very much overstated. I mean, he's not that old. He's 32. His numbers are still good. He's still pitching well. He was really good at home, 1.17 ERA, 34-8 strikeout walk ratio in the final month here, 2.25 ERA. Did face Philadelphia and Arizona to finish it off, and he gave up only 1 earned run across his last 3 starts with 2 double-digit strikeout counts there. Yeah, 34-8 strikeout walk ratio in the last month. Last couple of months, he's been pitching really well, man. Since he came back from injury, he's been right on point. He's allowed more than 3 earned runs only 1 time, which was kind of a weird road start against Pittsburgh, whatever. But other than that, he's been dominant pretty much. He's had 4 shutouts over that stretch, too. Against the Cincinnati Reds, I looked at these numbers earlier, but I always kind of forget. He's actually pretty much completely dominated them in 48 at-bats, 12 strikeouts, 5 walks, 104 batting average, 314 OPS allowed. This is what Snell does. He kind of walks too many guys, but he also is just pretty much completely unhittable. So the money's coming in against the Dodgers here, but the money line did go way up on them for -172 to -195, although that might have been because we didn't know who the starting pitchers were going to be yet. And when the Dodgers announced it was going to be Snell, because it looked like they might be going with one of their lesser starters and bumping Snell back to 3rd or 4th, but it's going to be him. So I think when they announced it would be him, I think that did move the line a little bit in the favor of the Dodgers, because I don't think it was actual money in the market, because we see 86% of tickets, only 83% of the cash on the Dodgers, so the money's kind of fading them. But based on those matchup numbers that I just showed you, I think you could really only look to the Dodgers in this game, to be honest. Yeah, you'd have to lay a run line with them, and you do at least get the Dodgers, if you do the run line, you at least get the fact that the Dodgers can hit at home. Maybe the better way to actually look at this would be to go Dodgers over their team total, actually, but you're still dealing with Hunter Green, so he might be able to kind of keep that offense in check a little bit. So I guess I worry about that too. Maybe actually scratch all that. Maybe the best way to do this, as I think about this in my head, maybe Cincinnati under their team total is the best way to look at this. Although then you have to worry about the Dodgers bullpen. You can see why I had a hard time handicapping these games, man. I don't know what I would even want to do in these games, to be honest. I almost think that my favorite way to go here is Padres Cubs over the total. But looking at that game, the other thing I was going to say about that game is, in that game, the total also being that low also probably is taking into account the weather. And it either means that the wind is blowing in Chicago there, or it means that there's no wind or a side-to-side wind. With this pitching matchup, it might mean there's basically no wind. Because if the wind was blowing out, I think they'd have to increase the total just a little bit, at least in that game. But those are my thoughts on it. I don't have any plays today, man, so I know I apologize for that. 2 days in a row, light slate, man. But we're going to get back to the plays. Football's going to be back. We'll see what we want to do with the rest of baseball and NBA and WNBA playoffs. Curtis, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. That's going to do it. I forgot to do my plugs yesterday, but you know the drill. Learn to Toad on Twitter. Learn to Toad on Instagram. Like, subscribe to the channel here, Bettor Off Dead on YouTube. Everything helps me out, man. Give me a good review on iTunes and Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, I guess, and Spotify. That all helps me out as well. Covered in Uke, my Uke channel on YouTube, so you can check that out as well. And patreon.com/learntotode. You can help me, help support me over there too, and there's some bonus Uke content there. That's going to do it for now, man. We'll be back again tomorrow. Going to be another short video, light slate here. I think maybe next baseball season I shouldn't handicap literally every single baseball game on the show. I mean, that just takes so much time. I've never done that before. I'm not going to do it with NBA, NHL. So usually, like, if you've watched my show, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give out my plays that I have for NBA, NHL, and I'm going to talk about the other games that kind of interested me, that I kind of had some opinions on, stronger opinions, but not every single game unless somebody calls out a game they want me to talk about. So that's probably how I'm going to do things moving forward here. Maybe I should have some Patreon betting content too. I don't know, man. We'll see. But that's going to do it for now. And maybe I should be Boston Toad. Try to get more like views on Instagram. Maybe repost, like post those videos on Twitter too. We'll see, man. Once I have another play, which is maybe not until Thursday. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I know tomorrow we're going to have baseball games as well, but we might be able to find some more value in game 2 with some maybe zigzag scenarios setting up. We'll see, but peace out for now, guys.